names of the brands, whereas I kind of have to wander through all these other brands that I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's the point, isn't it?
I think we'll just have a wander, literally have a wander. We might find a colour you really like, but maybe not that dress, but we just see I don't know, a purple or something that you really like, and then we photograph it, and then we'll find something in that colour. So we can definitely do that, and we could even do a couple of those things. I'm really keen to get the jewellery aspect of it going on. I think jewellery is a really good way of, that's the word, bringing alive an aspect of your personality. I think it's an easy way. It's not expensive, so if you get it wrong, you know, it doesn't matter. No. Unlike if you spend £1,000 on a dress and then wear it once. If you spend £200 on a pair of earrings and you only wear it a couple of times, well, it's not the end of the world, you know. So I think it would be quite fun to go and look at some jewellery. But they do have jewellery in Selfridges. I might send you a link to a jewellery maker that I really like, that I've just discovered recently, actually. And the other thing that I was wondering about is, do you look at any kind of fashion journalism, or do you ever read about, you know, the latest way to wear beige? Or
no, occasionally. I don't mind a grazia. That's my kind of guilty pleasure. A mild is generally if I'm on a plane or an airport, which is fairly frequently. I'm interested in that stuff. Generally, to be fair, at home I look at house stuff. Continue.
Oh, do you?
Design,
yes, is that your?
Always goes to Houseology or House.com.
Okay, so that's your
thing.
Okay. So I guess these newspapers probably wax and wane in how good they are in this regard, but I personally think that the Times fashion pages are really good at the moment.
Okay.
They're really, really excellent. But the only pain in the arse about the Times is you have to have a subscription in order to read it. So even if I were to send it to you, when you click on it...
I think we've got a number at work, actually. I've definitely got a subscription to the FT, but I think we've got the Times and other things that we can...
Well, maybe look into that, because if you have, there's a few things that I might send you. You know, it's quite a nice way of just... I suppose the reason I like it is it exposes me to lots of brands that I would never normally look at.
Notebook here.
I can give you a notebook if you want. Yeah, you sure? Okay.
Left the office in such a hurry.
The other shop that does spring to mind, I don't know if you've ever shopped there, is Harvey Nichols. Do you know Harvey Nicks?
I've been in there a few times, but I don't think I've ever bought anything. They've got shoes in the basement, haven't they?
I don't know what they have. They've just had a complete. It was shut for months, and I haven't been since it reopened. But in fact, one of my clients is now head of women's wear there. So I was just wondering. I had a thought that I wonder if I rung him, whether he would take us round and sort of, you know, without us having to pay for a stylist to do it. Might be quite fun. I might look into that.
Yeah, and actually I bought a Prada bag. The first time I ever spent a lot of money on a handbag was this amazing black patent leather Jimmy Choo bag.
Oh, gorgeous.
And it cost like £1,200. It was post-maternity leave with Libby. I'd never spent anywhere near that kind of money. And so I bought it. I was with Brett. I literally got palpitations and had to leave the shop. I can't believe I've done that. He's like, "Would you want to look at other stuff?" And I'm like, "No, you have to go now." It was so weird. That's my association with Harvey Nicks, but that was.
I'll look into that.
I've got over that since then. I'm perfectly capable of spending a lot of money on that.
Well, maybe, I don't know. You know, why don't we do one? And if you find it helpful, we might do another one. And if you don't, we'll move. You know, the whole point about coaching is you try something, and if it doesn't work, then you do something different. So. Okay, so we can definitely do that, and we can definitely chat, and I can hold you to account about keeping the progress, because as you rightly say, there is a tendency for all of us to fall back into patterns that we've carried for much longer. What I suppose I'm trying to say is new habits are hard to keep, old habits are very easy to keep. So it is helpful to have someone. What's your thinking about sessions, and do you want more sessions? How do you, or are there other things that you would like us to kind of focus on apart from this very what we've, this well-defined focus that we've had so far?
I suppose for me, so I really value the sessions, but I should challenge myself to make sure, I'm making sure that I'm still, it's not just the luxury end, I'm actually getting something from it other than actually I really enjoy coming and having conversations. There's something in my mind, I suppose the events that were the catalyst for all of this conversation were our partner meetings that I did last summer. And the feedback from partners in terms of a bit too slick kind of stuff. So they're an annual event, we do sort of mini runs in between, but they're the 2nd and 3rd of July. So I'm wondering whether there is something around, just as we get closer to that, being more specific around actually what I'm going to say.
Definitely.
So more of the, I guess, the presentations, jazz hands bit of it, but trying to pick out some of these messages and the human bits that in more of a set piece presentation.
Actually works really well to have something like that to aim for, because it makes much more specific stuff that we're talking about in the abstract. And we can do, it's a formal presentation that you'll make, is it?
Yeah, I think so. We haven't actually finalised the agenda yet, and that was part of the problem last year, and obviously people read everything into it. So it was a kind of 1 till 6 event, so 5 hours, with a break for half an hour in the middle, and so there are 6 of us on the main board, and then there were some breakout sessions that some of our kind of clients and markets people led. Opened by Kevin Ellis, who does this kind of State of the Nation bit, and then each of the board members do their bit, but because I've got quite a broad role, I ended up doing 3 bits. So I did I did a kind of 20-minute session, and then I did a 50-minute session, but no scripts, no notes, no slides, so it's all, you've got to, there's a lot of content. I think to some extent I was overexposed there, because actually I was very well rehearsed, because I had a lot to cover, and I was on stage like way more than anybody else, even more than Kevin. Yeah,
so in a way, whatever you did was going to get amplified, because you were way out.
Yeah, you're the chosen one. You've got more airtime than anybody else, and
so there are
moment in time. So I think we're all very conscious of redressing that balance of it. So I ideally only want to do one session, probably 20 minutes or so, and then maybe a breakout session, which is fine. And again, that will give me more opportunity to experiment. Actually, so obviously they're by definition smaller groups of partners. They're slightly different format this year. We're only doing 2 rather than 5. So we'll have 400 to 450 partners in each of the main sessions. And obviously breakouts, I don't know what the thinking is in terms of, they'll try to get to sub 80, I would have thought, in those breakout sessions. So there'll be more of a conversational working through something in a breakout room. But I'm sure there will be a presentation bit.
So for the presentation piece, I mean, we have a lot of experience of helping people with that kind of stuff. So what we would do is, relatively soon actually start thinking about, the big picture of what you want to achieve and get across, both in what you say but also in how you say it. And then you'd start working with content. I also have a colleague that I've used a lot who is very, very gifted at the specific coaching around formal presentations, and he's particularly good at managing kind of the non-verbal aspects of how you do it. So we could have a session with him, who you'd love him. He's a fantastic guy. Just does this now. That's all he does. Really, really brilliant.
And there could be again the what do I wear? I mean, they like to kind of just throw challenges at us. So it's in the round. So there's a round stage in the middle of the room, and people sit around you. So you've got to remember to keep walking around the stage without looking like a caged lion. And that's quite hard to do in heels. And I'm not suggesting I'm not going to wear heels, because that would be we'd have an argument about that. But there is something. Trying to move to one side, it's easy to wobble and then look unsteady. So
there's some great TED talks. So TED typically present like that, I think, or certainly a number of the TED venues do that. So we'll have a look at some. Who are the TED people that really had that nailed in heels?
Yeah, and that's what I need to do. So I'm so busy. I've got a lot of content. I've got to remember to move, and I've got good at it. So I did the same thing. We did a rehearsal, and then 5 times. And even in that 50 minutes of content, you can say a lot in 50 minutes.